talking about dads all the time, aren't we? I want you to go to any of your social medias, any of the platforms that you use, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is, Twitter, and I just want you to type fatherhood. And you'll see the many, many thousands of reels and small topics that we talk about dads. And one of the things that you will notice very prevalent is how we take fathers for granted. How we, in a certain way, exploit who they are. Because by definition, their role talks about provide, protect. I've spoken to many fathers, and one of the beautiful things that I've realized is that it's the common thing whether you speak to somebody in the US of A, or in South America, or in South Africa, or in wherever else. Provide, protect. That's it. It starts and ends there. There's nothing more than that. And unfortunately, we here in India have certain, and I'm sure, there are different societal challenges as well. But as a father myself, each culture, I'm sure, has their own challenges. But for us, it's very prevalent. I've spoken to fathers and asked them, can they be on this podcast? And they say, Steve, I don't think I'm a good enough dad. They brought up 2 kids, sent them through college, and they don't believe. Provide, protect, well, they did that. But still, the father doesn't believe that he is a good father. Why is that? Why is that? Didn't he? Well, I don't know. But my mind is racing right now just to think about it. We dive deeper in the Indian context and we find that there are people who don't talk about fathers. We don't talk about fatherhood and what it means to the individual, what it does for the family, and what it does for society. The different challenges that they go through, dads go through, the self-doubt, the financial pressures, the health pressures, the job pressures. I mean, it can never end, right? Their own mental health. We should be doing more about this. So, a few things that I've put together here as a list of challenges that dads face, particularly in India. And one thing, and I'll go through a few of them, but we have no support systems. We guys meet up as much to have a cup of coffee, have a cup of tea, have a beer, whatever the case may be, and that's our only support system. Of course, we talk to some of our close friends, but that's it. That's it. Who helps dads? Who helps those superheroes? So, a lack of support system. Then, think about it. Changing social dynamics. Changing social dynamics when with the evolving social norms and increased exposure to the Western world. No, I'm not saying the Western world is good, bad, or ugly. No, I'm not here to judge that. But what we know, the generation that we came from, those societal norms or those dynamics are very different today. So I'll give you a simple example. In the Western world, a lot of people are okay with calling their uncles and their older gents by their first name. When I grew up, that was not encouraged. Today, I see it prevalent a lot, with kids growing up. Is it, becoming something that we have to rethink? Maybe. But for me, as a dad and as an older man now, that's not something I am used to. That's a social change, a social dynamic change. So we need to consider that. Dads go through this. And this example is a very small one, by the way. We never went dating at 16, or we never left the house at 18, right? So think about it. Mental health stigma. Dads go through that a lot, but they have no place to go and talk about it, to get help for it. And that's pretty interesting, right? Work-life balance. Of course, a lot of organizations, I'm grateful for that, a lot of organizations have seen and are helping with work-life balance. In fact, I work with some of these corporate organizations, and one of them is actually looking at having a program for fathers. Wow. That would be groundbreaking for me because, well, it's something that I really, really want to talk about. Our traditional gender roles, another one that has changed and become so lucid in our world today. And to make matters worse, there's very little place that we can actually talk about it, because then you get shot down, right, for being insensitive and stuff. So think about it. I've just given you about 5 or 6, but there are so many other challenges a dad faces. If you have a dad, if you know a dad, just sit down one day with him and ask him how he's doing. Chances are he'll say, I'm fine. But don't take that for an answer. Get specific. Ask him questions about his life. Ask him questions about the challenges he's currently facing. And dive a little deeper. Not because you can solve his problems. Dads don't want that. But they want someone that they can talk to sometimes. And just say, they feel much better. Listening is a great form of showing love. So wherever you are, dads, and everybody else in between, stay safe, be happy, talk to a dad.